Says it's starting. There we go. Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 227. On this show, we showcase gun reviews, gear, and anything else the gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm your host, Chad Wallace from the Firearms Radio Network, your source for broadcasts for shooters, hunters, and all things firearms related. In this show, we'll be discussing another Werkz holster review, this time by me, an M&P shorty, so to speak, and some magpul stuff. And tonight on the podcast, we have, the typical Rob, Tony, and Zane. So what did you guys do in firearms?
Well, since I'm the only one that's not muted at this point, I guess I'll go.
Sounds good.
Remember that short barrel AK that I picked up with that dead air silencer?
Yes.
Yeah, I might or might not have taken it to the range last week and had a really fun time with it.
Yeah,
And let me tell you, that silencer is nice. It cuts the sound down, but it's still not hearing safe, in my opinion. I still wore my ear protection while I was shooting it, but just shooting that AK with the silencer was pretty sweet.
Aren't AKs pretty hard to suppress? Or are they?
Yeah,
because of the gas block where the piston is. Oh, Tony, sorry.
No, yeah, that's what I've heard. AK is difficult to suppress.
I mean, some people say, oh, you can get them nice and quiet, but I mean, I'd imagine you have to do a lot of work to get them that way because you can see the back pressure coming out of where you've got the barrel and the gas piston goes up above the barrel. You can see just the gas just flowing out of there, but
so
it wasn't that bad. I didn't get like a lot of blowback in my face, but then I was wearing, full shield, sunglasses that are like the Oakleys where they're full shield, like sports sunglasses. And that was an absolute blast to shoot that. I found that I got to get myself one of those AK sight tools, and then I decided to take Zane. Close your ears. I took my SBR Sig MPX to the range, and that was fun too with the silencer on it. Yeah, my pistol caliber carbine that Zane. I know Zane loves those so much.
Actually, the MPXs are pretty darn sweet.
It's fun. Oh yeah.
I got a buddy who has one. I mean, they're not bad guns at all. I'm gonna have to walk back on my PCC stuff eventually, but I'm not walking back on it yet. I still hate them.
Hey, if we can get together one weekend, I'll let you shoot my my MPX.
I mean, I'll shoot anything.
But I tell you what, though,
the industry and everybody else doesn't care that Zane doesn't like pistol caliber carbines.
No, they're hot right now. They're selling like hotcakes right now. People are eating them up.
Yep. Well,
I think pistol caliber carbines, they're fun.
I think what helped out a little bit is, like 3-gun. A lot of those you can have an option of using them, and then like USPSA even made an option for it. So I think that helped some.
I think Tony's wrong, and the industry actually does care what I think, because after I built one, I think everyone was like, well, since he has one now, it's totally cool now. And so that's why they took off.
Oh, no, I pretty much think you may have killed the pistol caliber carbine because you had one, and they were like, wow, even he has one? We're done. Yeah. Next thing is rifle caliber pistols.
You believe.
Oh, dear God.
And I'll go with my version of events.
Gotcha. So what about you other two people?
I did a couple podcasts this week. I'm turning into a podcast lady of the night, we'll call it.
Kind of like Tony?
I did yeah, kind of like Tony. I did This Week in Guns, and I was also on the Matter of Facts podcast this week. So
that's sweet.
Other than that, I don't think anything. Oh, I ordered a bunch of stuff because I'm taking a low light handgun class at the end of this month. So I ordered a bunch of ammo, a bunch of batteries and chem lights and stuff you need for low light.
Nice.
That'll be fun.
Nice.
Yeah, which flashlight are you going to use there, Skippy?
I'm going to use my Streamlight ProTac HLX and the
1000 lumen,
1000 lumens, and the TRL1 HL. which is 800 lumens. That's the weapon mount light, and I ordered like 12 Surefire batteries just to be safe. I have 3 of the rechargeable 18650s, but you burn through batteries in low light classes, so I'm just gonna throw 12 in the range bag and figure if I burn through all of those, we'll just. I don't know.
Wait a minute. How long is this low light class?
It's an 8-hour course. It's a 1-day class.
Okay.
It goes from, and probably only about half of it's going to be in real low light because it's that time of year where it doesn't get dark till late.
Ooh, hey, now Zane.
Yeah, we had hours. We did hours in the indoor range, and that was about 4 hours.
So this is low light and it's going to be mixed in. Do low light first, and then we're going to do low light force on force with sim guns. So.
So next week. So when you come back, you'll be all bruised up.
Yeah, I'll be all shot up with sim guns.
Oh, so you're doing that this weekend?
No, it's towards the end of the month. I think it's the 26th.
Okay. All right. So you get nice and wet because it's that rainy season down here in Florida.
It's terrible. And the range we're going to, if I remember correctly, floods, so it'll be fun.
Oh, so yeah.
Is that one of those rain or shine classes?
Oh yeah. Rain
That'll be
nice.
Show must go on.
Yeah.
I find it funny that y'all gonna be wusses and use some munitions with your force on force. Man up, live ammo. Man up, live ammo.
We'll just use 25 or something.
Rob, it's time for you to read the disclaimer before Tony keeps going.
Hold on.
Views and opinions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Caution: do not do anything these 3 idiots are saying because you might wind up dead, and we don't want to be held liable for it.
Yeah. Hey, Zane. Somebody in the YouTube chat wanted to know the candela on your lights.
Angela wants to know the candela.
I believe the HLX is 16,000 and change, and I don't know what the HL or the TRL is. Off my head.
You mean somebody's actually listening to us live?
We got like 6 people right now.
I can't see the live.
We have
so there's 4 of us watching the YouTube feed, so that means there's only 2 people watching it.
Right, and we got 2 people in there besides us.
Never let it be said we can't make fun of ourselves.
That's right. Yeah. So, Tony, did you do anything worthwhile?
Yeah, I did some awesome stuff, man. We had a family come through Saturday, and we taught them firearms basics, safe firearm manipulation. It was father, 2 sons, and a daughter. Daughter was between 12 and 13 years old, and the sons weren't done high school yet, but they were older than her. Very little experience with firearms and no experience with firearms. And by the end of the day, everyone was shooting 22s and AR-15s at 50 yards for really small groups. So it was a lot of fun because kids are really enthusiastic. So it was great to watch them take this thing that everyone says, all their classmates or many of their classmates say it's some horrible thing, and have a great time safely using it. You know what I mean? And being quite effective with it. It is what it is. I had him using my Henry lever action Golden Boy. Sean had him using a breakdown 1022, a regular 1022 with like a 3-9. Just to get them on a red dot, have them use a red dot, have them use iron sights, have them use a variable scope. And then they broke out the AR that was lightweight, and they were just nailing stuff. So, I mean, it's just part of teaching the next generation. You know what I mean? We did that, and then I took my ass to...
Hey, Tony, let me get your opinion on something real quick. You said they shoot both red dots and irons. Most people are still of the opinion you should teach people on irons first and then move them to red dot. What's your thought process on that?
My thought process depends on what you want to do. If you just want to get someone to hit a target, red dot. It's fine. Put red dot on target and teach them how to pull a trigger without moving the dot off a target. If you want to build marksman and you want to stress the marksmanship fundamentals of sight alignment and sight picture, you can go ahead and do that. It just takes longer, and it's more things to teach. They're both fine. There's no wrong answer to it. But for my diversity shoot, I have red dot on the high point, and I'm going to put a red dot on the 22 because it's just easier to run people through, have them shoot 10 rounds on this gun, another 20 rounds. You know what I mean? And just show them that part of it. And if they're more interested, they can come back and take a class from myself or any of the NRA instructors, or even take a class at the range. But yeah, for introduction, red dots are awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I know a lot of people.
It gets positive feedback. It gives positive feedback immediately.
Because if you're not hitting with your aim, you're not having fun. So.
Yeah, and especially with, I'm in agreement with you guys. Imagine that, but especially younger shooters, where they get that feedback from. It's kind of like, here's a red dot and here's some steel to shoot at. I mean, you can't really go any better because, one, they can hear it, they can see the target, and you don't have to take the time to say, okay, here's what you got to do. You got to line all this stuff up. They may not quite understand because of their age. Like, if you're teaching somebody older, I think it might be a little easier to teach them iron sights. But when you're dealing with teenagers, their attention span is like a half a second anyway. So,
yeah.
Yep.
I just think it's easier to go one fundamental at a time. Let's teach,
trigger
teach
control.
The trigger. Let's teach, all that stuff, and we'll move on to side alignment later. So.
Yep.
Oh, sounds like way more. You guys all had way more fun than me. I did some yard work and helped my brother-in-law put a stereo in his Land Cruiser, and that was about it. So it really applied to nothing firearms related because, well, you guys do it all and I'm just the host and do nothing. So whatever works. Guess we can get into the announcements. Our bandwidth sponsor is our favorite buddies over at Patriot Patch Co. And new patches, same ones are for pre-order. Patch of the month, they don't have June's out yet, so I couldn't tell you what it is. I could probably text our buddy Ryan and he might give me a heads up if he decides to be nice this time or not. If you want to support us, we have a listener support program. You can go to firearmsradio.tv, pledge Gun Gear Review Podcast, donate some money. We can use it to buy stuff for reviews or get us places like NRA show or something like that. And if you're shopping Amazon, please use the affiliate link at firearmsradio.tv/Amazon. And if you want to donate stuff from Black Bag Resources to the 2A for E Diversity Shoot, use the code 2A4E and it will donate whatever's in your cart to Tony.
Yay!
Go, Tony.
Yep.
The
Rob.
opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows. And now for our product review. Chad, let's talk about that Werkz M2 holster.
Oh, you mean this one right here?
No, the other one.
Oh, wait. We got the other one. See, we got this one.
No. The other one. The other one.
No. Zane has the other one. He already did his.
His review is horrible.
His review was horrible. His review was good. My pictures are just just better. His review was good. My pictures are better.
It's true. I'm a terrible photographer.
I don't think he tries, but these young kids these days, I have thousands of years practicing. So, when you had to look at it, draw it with, it makes taking a picture easier. Yeah. Basically, Zane and I got these holsters at the same time, essentially. They actually sent them to me, and I sent the one to Zane. I put a little more info on what Werkz is. Basically, they're a Kydex company, as you have all figured out. They are in Princeton, Idaho, so their stuff's made in the USA. I actually first heard about them on the Handgun Radio podcast with Ryan Machad. Because they made a holster for his Steyr or whatever the hell it is. But Werkz actually contacted us and said, hey, we got some stuff we'd like your feedback on. And of course, we're like, sure. They have stuff from custom to off the shelf This is actually kind of your off-the-shelf holster. It is their M2 version. They sent me one it's the Polymer 80 G19 size. And they also sent a magazine carrier, which I'll discuss a little bit here. These are taco-style holsters, if Zane didn't mention that.
Tacos.
And since it is Tuesday on the live stream, what else can we say? Taco Tuesday. So what that means is they're folded over with one piece and then molded somehow. Works for me. These actually have the ability to go inside or outside, left, right, because they have holes for the clip on both sides. I didn't actually think I was going to use the outside the waistband style, but then I decided that I was going to go use this pistol in a speed steel match and used it outside, and it actually ran great that way also. I ran it straight up and down then. I run it canted when I was carrying normally.
That's something I didn't think about, that you could do it inside or outside the waistband. I just assumed it was so you could go left or right-handed, but you're absolutely right. You can absolutely run that as an OWB.
And the thing is like I said, I shot a whole speed steel match with it, and it worked fine. And let's see, I think there were 6 stages that day. I can't remember. And since, if you know anything about steel, you shoot the same array of targets 5 times. So, I got 25 draws on it and, 4 hours or something just outside the waistband, and the clip held on, and it worked great that way. Like I said, I angled it forward, but of course this also resulted in my main dislike of this holster. The clip doesn't completely rest against the belt, because if you go look at the Firearms Insider and look at the review, there's a decent picture. It kind of folds under, so you only get about this half the clip maybe holding on the belt, and I didn't really care for that. This is not the only holster that I've had that problem with. So if it had like some sort of little extra material there or something, that would probably help.
So I've had that problem with holsters in the past.
Yes.
Back when I carried on strong side.
Right.
And what I usually did is I didn't run clips when I ran strong side. I ran soft loops.
Yes.
Because now that I carry appendix, the clips are more secure. But when I carried at 4 o'clock, I never trusted clips anyways. I always just switched everything out with soft loops.
And yes, I completely understand. And especially if it's got a single clip, or you could put 2 soft loops and it will then stay. I agree with that. I don't mind the clips on them. If I don't run this holster at an angle, I run it straight up and down, and it works fine. And the clip held fine, which is good. Like you said, the finish on these things is just spectacular. I don't know exactly how they do it, but they smooth these edges, and it's a really nice looking Kydex holster. It's got a tall sight channel, so if you're running suppressor style sights, they will clear. It also is cut so that you can run an optic. This slide actually has a plate where an optic would go, so you can see how the optic would fit right in this area. That's actually kind of nice. I wore this thing on and off. I didn't wear it every day, and part of the reason is because it prints a little bit. I think Zane had the same problem. He modified his. I have not modified this one yet. Of course, that's next on the list, but I wanted to get the review done before I did that. Same kind of thing. It prints mainly the end of the handle. I usually only wear a t-shirt as a cover garment. If you put a jacket or something on, it worked fine. I usually wear it at 2:30, 3 o'clock, so just forward of the hip or right on the hip. The forward cant didn't really seem to make it print any less or any more. It took, I don't know, probably 3-4 days for my body to adjust to this particular holster. That's pretty typical for most holsters, especially if I wear them strong side. It has one wide clip. I actually like that. I thought it worked well. The other nice thing about having a single clip is, unlike certain hybrid holsters or really wide 2-clip holsters, is your belt loops can get in the way of where you run them. Werkz does call this a minimalist holster. It is quite small. It's not very big at all. So I can understand why they do that. Now, I already mentioned about the wearing it at the steel match, so I won't go into that anymore. It worked fine, but on another hand, they did send also one of their M2 magazine carriers. Same quality. Currently, it is only available for the 9mm and 40 Glock style magazines. It also has the clip on each side. You cannot angle it. It's still straight up and down. I never reversed the clip. Because Glock magazines are so nice and square, I just turned it around and made it just as easy, I guess. It worked fine either way. Same quality. It happens to be kind of a grayish color instead of the black like the holster is. Both this and the holster have adjustable retention in them, which is nice. You can adjust it to where you want. They click in nice. Draws are easy. So really, if you're in the market, they have a bunch of different ones. This is actually one of the quick ship holsters. So basically, I think it ships the next day. But they also do custom holsters if there's something you don't see or want. I know they make like an M5 holster now that has like a claw to help with the printing and a few other things. So we'll get into the Firearms Insider 8 key points, which claim to fame. It's a minimalist Kydex holster. Target market, pretty much anyone needing a holster at a reasonable price. Features and benefits: it is IWB, OWB convertible, adjustable clip height in these 2 positions. It's made of Kydex. It has a 1.5-inch belt clip. I think it's offered with a 1 3/4 also, but I'm not sure. You can cant it or run it straight up and down. Has adjustable retention, and it is usable with slide-mounted optics. You can get it with some rail-mounted lights, like Zane's is, or various colors. Basically, all the usual stuff. I did list an Amazon review in here. It's for this holster, but it's a different gun. So if you want to check it out, couldn't find any other actual reviews on it. This particular holster, the price point's $42.50. The mag carrier is $30, and you can actually get the holsters on Amazon. They're $50 on Amazon. I don't know why you would when you can get it from Werkz itself. So for the need it now, go to Werkz. Our rating: pros, great construction, adjustable retention, adjustable cant. It is convertible, and the price is really a good deal on it. The cons: the firearm does print, and the clip when it's canted. So I gave it a rating of 7.5, which is good. I also think that is basically the average rating that Zane gave it.
Yep.
Yep. So I doubt you guys have any questions, but if you do, I might be able to help you.
Does it take Glock mags? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, the magazine carrier takes Glock mags, and that's
Does it come in Cryptek?
Does it come in Yeti? Cryptek Yeti.
Actually, I was hoping for something, like neon pink, maybe a little bit of neon green thrown in for good measure.
Hey, I have some pink Kydex in my workshop at my house.
Hold on. Hold on. Nope.
You don't have my address, do you?
I do.
Everybody has your addresses on every truck stop wall between here and Oregon.
Wow.
What was that?
The thing I wanted to know is how did you do in a steel match?
I came in about the middle.
Okay,
I don't know.
Just asking, man. You brought it up like 3 times. It's like you begging for the attention, man.
Well, yeah, I lost to my friend. That's all that matters, right?
Okay. Yeah, because that's really who you're going against. If you bring a friend, you guys are going against each other. You could care less. There. You want to be able to bust each other's chops.
That's about exactly right. It's like it doesn't matter about everybody else. You're not there for them.
It's like, who was in first place? I don't know. Some guy.
Some guy with a 22 pistol or something. But you can use pistol caliber carbines. So I actually think that match, I think a PCC won the match.
And you can run your Glock mags for your pistol caliber carbine in that Werkz mag carrier.
Yes, you can.
Cool.
I think unless you have one of those like SIG ones or that we talked about last week, or
yeah. Like if you have one that runs on stupid mags, then it won't work. But if you run Glock mags,
I got a question because these seem to be pretty decent if you guys like them. They have a lot of options. They seem to have good fit and finish. They're like $20 cheaper than even some stuff from like Alien Gear. I mean, you think it's better than their stuff?
First of all, I think it's better than any hybrid holster because I don't like hybrid holsters. I don't think they're all that people make them out to be. But yes, I think it's better quality than I've seen from Alien Gear.
And I would have to say, unlike Zane, I like hybrid holsters, but I also understand the shortcomings with them. So, but as yes, these are inexpensive. You're definitely probably getting more than you're paying for.
Okay.
And
so I definitely have holsters that I like a little better, but I also spent like $120 on that holster. I also have plenty of holsters that I paid more for that I don't like as much as this one. So, I think they make a good product. I mean, they
what's the turnaround time?
If it's quick ships like next day.
Yeah, and if it's one of the ones listed as is it just in stock or something?
No, they have 3 different shipping models. They have next day for stuff that's on the shelf, and then if it's kind of like a one-off, like mine was, like where they make it, it's but they don't have them ready. I think they've listed 2 to 5 day turnaround.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And if it's complete custom,
10 days or something.
10 business days.
Yeah.
So even 10 business days is pretty quick for a custom order from a holster shop. You're usually looking at 6 to 8 weeks.
Right. And their holsters, it looks like I went to their site. They go from the 4250 and then they make a like custom one that's looks like it's got a claw and it's got a mag carrier and it's like $105 full custom. It looks like. So that's their range basically.
I don't know about the one that has the mag carrier attached.
I think it's, I was looking at it for a bit and I think in the pictures you can disconnect the mag carrier from it.
Okay. Because the shortcomings on those a lot of times are where they connect. It creates a tension point and they tend to crack so if it's disconnectable.
Yes, I'm looking at it right now and Yes, it's just held on with two of those screws, the regular,
because that's usually the weak point.
Yeah.
There's a very, very popular holster out there that a skinny jean Instagram famous guy puts out that has a really weak spot right there, and it tends to crack, and that right where they connect. So, like I said, I don't know anything about Werkz's, but I know it's something to look for when you're looking at ones that are connected.
Oh, like I did forget to mention, since I was looking at their site, that it is open on the bottom. So
which is really nice for when brass falls in there. Unless you run an IWB, it's not as nice. But.
Well, or if you run a threaded barrel.
Yes.
I don't think it would work with some of those square compensators, but a threaded barrel will stick out and still work with the holster.
Okay, cool.
Which let's be honest, if you're running a comp, you probably don't want it sticking past the holster.
Yes.
Because that thing's going to get hot, and
yeah.
Which, who knows? Maybe at their custom shop they can mold for if you have a comp, call them. Maybe they can mold it long enough for your.
I was just impressed with really what you get for the price is probably my biggest plus on this thing.
Yeah, no, they seem really, really well made. They've much better quality than some stuff I've had for comparable or even higher prices. Yeah, and I have probably like 2 huge boxes full of holsters.
I've like, they've disappeared in my garage. I don't even know where half of them are. I know there's a box in the attic, like a plastic tote of basically holsters. So yeah. Well, I guess we're now on to the product spotlight and discussion. First up, we have the new...
And these are products that we have not had hands-on experience with. We are just...
that's why it's spotlight and discussion.
Right. That's just in case there was any confusion over that.
Well, there's always confusion, but that's whatever.
I really wish you guys would have went ahead and just read the email. Yeah.
First up is the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 3.6-inch compact with an MSRP of $569. Okay, I get why they made this, and I don't get why they made this. So I'll go over this wonderful specifications. Of course, it's the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0. It's their compact. Now with a shorter 3.6-inch barrel. Still same low bore axis, grip angle. It still comes with a small, medium, large, and large palm swells so that you can make them fit your hand. It's got their trigger, 1 in 10 twist barrel. It is in 9mm. The capacity is 15 plus 1. Overall length is 6.8 inches. It has standard steel white dot sights. Striker fired, as you could guess. It weighs 25.9 ounces. Stainless steel barrel, stainless steel slide, polymer frame. Okay, so they took their M&P 2.0, which was a 4-inch, and made a shorter barrel. Why? I personally am not sure, because I would, if I'm going to buy one, I'd rather buy the 4-inch, because the hard part to conceal is the butt.
Yeah, so this makes sense on a full-size gun like Glock did with their 19X. Like if they'd have done this with their full-size M&P and then put a 4-inch barrel on that would make sense from a duty perspective.
Right.
From a concealed carry perspective, I do like the fact that they kept the rail. Glock, if you're listening, put a rail on 26.
Yeah.
Jesus. But yeah, I think if you carry outside the waistband, this might be a thing. Like, because, the shorter barrel t-shirt doesn't have to go down as far. And also, if you're going to put an optic on it, I mean, sight radius doesn't really matter anymore. And then the slide's going to run arguably a little quicker, and it's not going to, the shorter slides not going to have as much mass to kick back and forth. I mean, there are some reasons.
Wait a minute.
In this,
didn't they have this in a 4-inch?
So Yeah, this is the same gun as in their 4-inch.
Yeah.
They just shorten the barrel.
Okay, wait a minute. They had a 4-inch where we came out to go head to head with the Glock 19.
Yes.
Right. All right, perfect. Because that's that packing pistol that a lot of people carry, or that they consider that the golden standard, right, of carry pistols.
Yeah.
These days. Yep. And then they decided to go and do what XD does. was that the next move?
Yeah.
This is their XD beater.
You know, I think what they probably should have done is just gone ahead and made a smaller something to compete with the 26, like the original compact was.
Right, like
the original compact M&P was more of that.
It was like a 12+1 or something, wasn't it? Or
you think isn't this like what the Glock 19 Plus that they came out with a couple months ago?
No, that's a full size gun, and that's aimed at duty and you know that kind of
the Glock 19
more.
Yeah.
What was that Glock that came out with that had the shorter barrel on it?
Here's the thing: the Glock 19 Plus, Glock 19X was like a Glock 17 with a Glock 19 slide on it. Yes. This is like a Glock 19 with a Glock 26 slide on it.
Yes.
Right, which doesn't make nearly as much sense to me.
And it doesn't to me. Now, like Zane was saying, if they had shortened it to 3.6 inches and then cut a ½ inch off the grip and made it a, smaller sized pistol, I think it would have made more sense. But my guess is that's their next step. So they're just incrementally making it smaller.
Yeah, and again, like if sight radius doesn't really matter to you, the slide arguably has less mass and it's going to reciprocate better and there's going to be less muzzle rise. But honestly, if you're that guy who's getting that nitty gritty about it, you're probably carrying a full size gun anyways. And again, also for outside the waistband carry, your barrel length does kind of matter then for concealment. But I think most people are carrying in the waistband these days, I think, unless I'm just not in touch with the average concealed carrier.
It's all over the place because some concealed carriers open carry, some concealed carry. Anyway, the longer barrel helps when you have it carried inside your waist. Just to keep the gun down, it has more weight on the other side of the belt. You know what I mean? Yeah. To stop it from tipping outward from your body. So having this shorter barrel and still a Glock 19 size grip, I don't get it. XD did the same thing with their 3.5, right? Correct?
Yeah, but their grip's shorter.
Their grip is shorter?
Yeah, they just offer, I think, a longer magazine that you can make it like this if you put the magazine with the extension on. Which
I think you're right.
I feel about XDs anyways, but I don't know. I don't know if I understand. I mean, there's obviously a market for it because I just find it hard to believe like Smith & Wesson was just going to make something if like 1,000 people haven't emailed them and asked them for it. You know what I'm saying? Like if there was if there was no market for this, they wouldn't have made it. I don't think anyways. Smith & Wesson M&Ps are one of, I like them very much. I think they're a really good gun. I just don't know that this is the configuration that I would go with. Probably go with a regular compact 2.0 with 4-inch.
Yeah, that's me also. If I was going to get one, I think I would get the regular 2.0 4-inch.
But I mean, like I said, they kept the rail on it, so I like that. I don't like when they take rails off of short guns. Like I still want light, even if it's a short gun. I still need light.
You only need one slot to tie it on there.
Well, you really need the Taurus curb. That has a light already built in.
A 60 lumen light built in.
Yeah, built in. And do understand that 20 years ago, that 60 lumen light would have been the cat's meow.
20 years ago, they were fighting wars with a surefire incandescent bulb pushing 60 lumens.
And they worked great.
Hey, bro, I was there, and we held it on with 100-mile-an-hour tape. We had mag lights with 100-mile-an-hour tape taped around an A2, or 20-inch barrel.
Pipe strapping. Whatever I can't come up with the word.
Yeah, we know what it's called. I know what you mean, though.
But
Yeah.
And we're not joking. That was the thing.
My thing is this: when it comes to light, you got to practice. You have to train. Whether you use a weapons mounted light, whether you use a flashlight, hold it in your hand, whatever. There's no shortcuts for any of it. But I really don't get why they did this. I don't understand it. Like, they came out with their 380 EZ. I 100% get the market they were going for.
Yeah, I get the market with that one.
Yeah, this one, I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and say it. Smith & Wesson sometimes misses the damn boat for a long time. It took them how many years to come out with something the exact same size as the Glock 19?
That's true.
Years. All right.
Yeah.
They just
like when they came out with their original compact, it was like Glock 26 size, and everyone was like, "What are you doing?" Like,
yeah.
So,
this might be them trying to be innovative and do something different, but I'm like, hey, bro, you're doing something no one asked for. There's no real opening for it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I mean, but I don't know. Smaller? It's not smaller, though.
It's not.
It's only smaller in barrel length and overall length. I mean, what, purse carry, maybe?
Even off body, maybe? No.
Yeah, so I mean, off body purse carry?
Yeah, I don't see it. I think Zane hit it right with maybe outside the waistband, because you don't want that muzzle sticking down maybe as much because your pants don't cover it.
Yeah, hey, whatever.
I had a question for Zane. The other problem is, even though they put this rail on there for Zane and his light's still going to stick out like an inch and a half past that muzzle.
Right, my light, but I really want to get my hands on a TRL7 to play with, because I think a TRL7, if it's good, if it lives up to its name,
right,
on a Glock 19X is gonna be,
right, because that's like flush with the front of the barrel, isn't it, or close to it with that? Yeah,
pretty much. I want to get my hands on one and play. I mean, it's not as bright as the light I'm carrying now, but
sacrifices.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
That's right. Well, I guess we'll put the Smith & Wesson compact to bed now or something. Somebody's going to like it. I mean, I don't think any of us have a problem with the Smith & Wesson pistol itself. It's just we're trying to figure out why.
I'm not even mad about this. Like, I'm not even like, there's some things that we talk about that I'm just like, why would you do this?
At least
I'm not mad about this though. I mean, I'm like, hey, if that's what you want, like, go ahead.
I just don't care for all the stippling on the darn thing. I think everybody gets a daggum soldering gun. Oh, I got to stipple my grip and stipple this and stipple that. I just don't care for it.
Well, the only thing I don't care for the M&P is the pivoting trigger system they have. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just I don't care for it. That's the only thing. But
so my thing
doesn't pertain to anything.
The M&P trigger, in my opinion, is very similar to the sights on a Glock. Like, I'm probably gonna swap it out as soon as I get it.
That's the best explanation I think I've heard. Yeah,
well, I bet if you look, you'd probably find out that they did the floppy trigger to keep themselves out of a patent infringement area with the Glocks.
After they did that, after they got sued the first time.
The Smith & Wesson,
the Sigma,
or whatever that is.
The Sigma had a pivoting trigger on it too, though, didn't it?
Right, but it was some. Yeah.
Oh no.
The first one was the reason they got sued by Glock.
Yep.
Right, I remember that.
It had basically a Glock trigger. Well, it had the little safety in the middle, and that's why they went to these, because that was part of the not infringing on patents.
The funny thing is, they poo-pooed on their own product. The Sigma became this little redheaded stepchild of the Smith & Wesson line. But at sub $300, not a horrible deal at all. And what's the name of the trigger company that everyone puts? Apex does like a $65 trigger for the Sigma.
I think now Apex is the gold standard trigger for Smith & Wesson guns.
Yeah,
I think like Overwatch precision triggers better.
Yeah.
I don't know if they even make them for M&Ps and Smith & Wessons.
Yeah, that's the first thing that has to go when you buy a Smith.
Yeah, I don't know. The Smiths I've shot have been fine. I think people need to put more work in the trigger and shooting. and less work in trying to buy marksmanship. But hey, that's my opinion on most of that.
Yeah,
Work
I
the
got
trigger
you.
you have. Learn to shoot your freaking gun first before you start throwing parts at it, because maybe, just maybe, you suck.
It's not the gun.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Yeah, I don't.
I just know what I like at this point. I know that I'm not going to like a stock trigger in X model gun. So because I have shot it enough, you know what I mean?
Oh
yeah. If you're the first time gun buyer and
heck,
shoot it. I mean, the only thing I would change out for sure on any gun is I would automatically change the sights on a Glock. But other than that, I would say shoot it and figure out what you like, and then go from there.
Yep.
I think we bored everybody in the chats to death, man.
We're down. Everybody disappeared.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's that. Next up on our list of discussion products is the new magpul bipod. I'm getting like this ghost impression of the old host. Yeah, I don't know.
Process come back to haunt us.
Yes, with magpul. This thing has an MSRP of $109.95. It's got a few nice features. I'll go over them, and Rob's actually seen it, so he'll be able to hopefully tell us a little more. It's your standard bipod. It's made from aluminum. It's got an over-molded polymer because, well, it's magpul. Low profile design, folds forward like typical bipods. It weighs 11 ounces. So it's not super heavy, not super light, but for a decent bipod, which I'm assuming it probably is going to end up being, that's probably right in the ballpark. It is easily adjustable. You can go from legs extend 4 inches and then from 6.3 to 10.3 adjustability, 50 degrees of total tilt and 40 degrees of pan are controlled by a knurled toolless bipod locking nub. Let's see.
Wasn't that your stripper name?
Yes. And it says something about an ability to lock the pan at 0 degrees, which is good. It must have like some sort of detent or something in there. It protrudes under the barrel like 2.3 inches, and it's 3.3 wide when folded. Let's see if I'm missing anything here. It takes, what is the deal here? It takes Atlas feet. It comes with rubber feet, but you can buy that. I think it said, the Atlas bipod pattern, replaceable feet. So they didn't try to improve on something that's already good.
Smart.
Yeah. 3 popular mounting platforms: M-LOK, pick rail, or the ARM 17S style. Currently, when it comes out, you can get it in black or FDE. If you're interested in this, you can go watch their little ad commercial on it. The link's in the show notes. It's kind of a cool little video that kind of explains it, and so there is that. I'm looking at it as I haven't seen it. It looks like a decent bipod. Most of the stuff Magpul comes out with is not terrible, so I'm guessing, and the price, it's about right in there with most of the other bipods in that similar style.
It's competitive.
Yes. So what did you think of it when you actually saw it, Rob? Tell us more.
I actually kind of liked it. I mean, like you said, that the big knob underneath the base of the mounting point, you can untwist that, and that'll allow you to use the pan, and you untwist it even more, and you can actually rotate the bipod around, tighten it back down, and that'll keep it from panning.
Right.
And the tilt's also controlled via that big old wonky knob too. You can just tighten it down, and it will keep it from tilting.
That's cool.
And then I found that they're on the sides there, the 2 buttons, the legs just flip down. So you can just grab them and flip them right down, but kicking back up, you've got the black buttons on the side, and I thought they were a little bit hard to press to get it back up, but that just might be, it needs to be some worked a little bit, maybe because they were new and you just need to play with the buttons and just kind of get the springs worn down a little bit.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then the buttons to release the legs, which are on the back, you push them and the legs pop right out, and you can kind of set the legs at basically almost any height you need. Like I said, I mean, it seemed to be a fairly quality, solid built bipod. What I like about it is you don't have the spring on the outside. Most bipods, you've got that spring on the outside that locks the legs into place and flips them down.
Yes.
And you got to be careful when you grab that, because there's been a few times I've grabbed it and I've actually pinched my just taking some skin with it, my little pound of flesh, so to speak.
Mm.
But I mean, other than that, I mean, I do like
Right,
the fact
like
that they got it set up where you can use different foot pedals, or whatever they call those things at the bottom.
Feet, whatever they want to call it.
Feet, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew they'd come out with the M-Lock, and then the pick rails, just that's another gimme. Everybody uses pick rails on, especially on the older rifles,
Right.
and then the arms attachment points, also a very nice feature.
That I wonder if that's has something to do with hoping to get them on military style for the military rifles or something.
The only thing I'd wonder though is how would you attach this to one of the older, or a standard stock that's got the little, like a swivel for a
for this, like the Harris, you can attach them to the swivel.
It has
stud.
3 different attachment types, right?
Yeah. You can get, now Tony, I don't know if I'm correct.
Yeah.
here. You can get like an adapter that goes on to be like a pick rail onto the swivel stud.
But I mean, it seemed to be fairly well built, well quality. I mean, Magpul doesn't build junk, and the nice thing about them is, as evidenced by their Glock magazine fiasco they stand by their product. If something goes wrong with it, send it back in. We'll fix it. We'll make it right.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, I think they've been around long enough. They know what to do, and they've.
Yeah, I'd like to get a hold of one of these and put on my Ruger Precision and take it to the range for a few weeks and see how it works.
Yeah, it'd probably be a decent idea.
And the price compared to like a Harris, it's much less expensive, right?
I think they're about the same, right? Yeah.
Well, because you got to remember, too, this has got swivel and tilting. So it's got pan and tilt. Like the bipods I've got, the $60 Harris bipod I've got, that one doesn't tilt, nor does it pan.
Right. I just went to theirs. The one that does the swivels and is like $106 for a Harris.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was much more expensive than that.
And
does it also allow you to tilt the rifle too from left to right?
I am not sure.
Okay. Yeah, and that's the only reason why I'm asking is the features with this are you can tilt the rifle from left to right and swivel it back and forth.
Right.
And you can lock it in place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can lock the tilt part into place with that knob.
Yeah.
But to lock the actual swivel part into place, you kind of have to undo the knob and then swing the bipod around, which is kind of a little wonky. But
to get them both in there, I understand.
Do what?
To get both those functions in the same knob, I can understand why they did it that way.
I started thinking about it. I'm like, well, I kind of would either have it set up to swivel or not to swivel, I don't know if I'd really want to go back and forth. So,
yeah,
really, it's not a big deal for swiveling.
Yeah, it's your tilt that I always find that I need more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yep, they got that coming out.
I'm trying to find out how much they weigh too, because that's very important.
It's like 11 or 12 ounces.
No, I'm talking not these. I'm talking.
Oh, the Harris.
Oh,
that's a good question.
Because that's what we're talking about. We're going to compare it to actually what's on the market that's comparative
and in the same price range. So yeah. I mean, why not? I'm thinking the Harris is 13 ounces for the 6 to 9 inch.
Okay. Ultra light at 14 ounces.
Yeah, so we're looking at The magpul one's a little bit lighter, not terribly, but as what do they say? Ounces is pounds or something.
No, I mean you saw nothing fancy.
Ounces equal pounds. Pounds equal pain.
Hey man, as long as it's not my pain, I don't care.
Wow.
Yes, you can call me names. I don't care.
Yeah,
okay.
Listen, Chad gets confused easily because he's older and they use stone as a measurement of weight. They use stone instead of pounds and ounces, so he's confused.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the bottom of the Harris Bipod website, and they've got adapters that they sell to swivel, to set your bipod up to swivel, and the adapters are $87 and $76. So
yeah,
add that to the price too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I'm not really sure. Again, I'm not looking in depth at all their different bipods to see if they've got that built into it, but it doesn't look like they have swiveling. Or panning. It looks like they've got tilting.
Yeah, they do have tilt. But yeah, either way, I think that was the market that magpul was trying to go for.
I'm looking. I'll get one of these. I'll definitely try it out on my rifles.
I heard a term. I think Michael Bain used it, but I'll go ahead and use it. It's magpul is a market disruptor. They come in and just throw salt in everyone's game. Oh, this is the way you were doing it? Check out what we did. Now, catch us if you can. So it tilts, it pans, it locks down. It's less expensive. It's a lighter weight. It takes all the popular connectors, because I think it does 3 different ones, right? It does pick rail. It does whatever. Arm and another one. M-lock. And it also uses the feet on the Atlas, so you can buy
the current Atlas bipod, which is one of the few that you can get different feet for.
Yeah, so, they just ran in the door and kicked over everyone's sandcastle. And it's great because it makes everybody else up their game, get innovative, drop prices. I mean, it's a good thing.
With the stocks for the 1022 takedowns, I mean, I'm waiting. I told them, I said, I'm waiting for you guys to build a pistol or a rifle, to actually build one and sell it from scratch.
I don't think they even want to get involved in that.
No, they tried that once.
I think it'd be cool if they did.
They did that with the Masada.
Yeah, they tried that once.
Yeah, they did that with the Masada and gave it to Bushmaster. And Bushmaster, I think that was after they went to Freedom Group, and they just pooped all over that like a monkey at the zoo.
And then they made that.
They also came out with that wacky little like
folding
case,
case kind of thing.
Yep. So I don't expect them to branch out anymore. Well, I mean, with a rifle or pistol or something, I think they know what they're doing. But
and at this point, let other people have that. Let other people have that. You didn't have to become rich in the Old West by being a gold miner. You could become rich by selling shovels to people that wanted to become rich being gold miners. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Sell accessories and kick butt.
Sounds good to me. Guess we'll move on to the listener feedback. Oh, wait, there isn't any because, well, I didn't check iTunes, so there might be some.
We did get some, but we can't talk about it.
We didn't get any via email, so now we get to go to Tony and his Second for Everyone shoots.
All right. Second is for Everyone's coming up on June 7th. The tickets are up now on Eventbrite. The only way you will get in the door is if you buy a ticket. It's great that you told me on Facebook that you want to come. Yippee skippy. You're not getting in the door unless you have a ticket. And we don't sell tickets at the door. So buy a ticket on Eventbrite. It's going to be fun. We finally, the cost is $20 per ticket. We're going to have the first 10 people through the door get the giveaway. 10 bags already set up with cool swag in it, worth about $20 each. We're going to have raffles. We're going to have cool stuff. And we're going to have fun. Hopefully, I can convince the new NRAILA rep to come down because the old rep, Christian, got promoted, and he's now in Fairfax, Virginia, being a big cheese. Maybe he will bless us with his presence, but who knows? Come on out. We're going to have fun introducing new people to firearms in the firearms community. We're going to have lots of guns. I'm working on a couple of different ideas for the shoots after this one, including you guys pick a rental gun. I'll have a different gun set out, a couple different guns every week. You vote on it, and we'll just do the bracket system. And you can pick out what cool gun you want to shoot at the next diversity shoot. Not this one coming up in June, but the next one in August. What else going on? Oh, go to diversityshoot.com. You can download some of our podcasts there. You can also donate to our GoFundMe. GoFundMe really helps us pay for a lot of the stuff, including food coming up at the next event. Also ammo and stuff like that. Thanks to High Point, they donated a couple more carbines to us. We're going to figure out how we're going to do something awesome with that. And I really appreciate just the work you people put in. We also have our own podcast, Second is for Everyone podcast. It's now on iTunes, Overcast, Radio Cast, and some other stuff. Things I've never heard of, but look for us. We're definitely on iTunes. And it's a fun podcast. It's on Anchor, by the way. That's where we host it on. Sean and I do it, and we have fun doing it. So that takes care of pretty much everything else. Again, I appreciate you guys allowing us to do this every week. People are starting to reach out to me because they want to actually have Pro 2A town hall meetings coming up this year in Jersey. So I'm going to be promoting that. We also have a guy named Darlin Brooks who does On Fire podcast. He wants to go around to the inner city and talk to minorities about their Second Amendment rights. So I might spend this summer actually promoting a lot of stuff other people are doing with the Second Amendment, and that's cool with me because, truthfully, we're going to have to be grassroots on a local level as Second Amendment activists and gun owners if we want to maintain our rights. Bloomberg has dedicated $50 million at crushing our Second Amendment rights, and he's not afraid to spend it all over the country. We're going to have to fight back as individuals against a billionaire. It's just that simple. And we can do it because what we're doing is fun and freedom. We can host a barbecue and have a shoot, and people are going to come. All anti-gun people do is just show up, be all bitter and crap, and wear red T-shirts and say no to fun. Nobody wants to go to that. So the good part is we have the advantage of being part of something cool. The bad part is we got to put some work in. We have to vote in the primaries. You guys had your primary in Oregon Monday, correct?
No, it's today.
Today?
We're recording on Tuesday, so yes, it's today.
Oh, damn. All right. Well, we got more people that's coming up next week. And the week after that, we cannot slack. We cannot give up because once we do, they're going to roll over us. I mean, there's a concerted effort to steal your rights on a nationwide level. Idaho, Nebraska, Oregon, and Pennsylvania. That's today. Next week is Arkansas, Georgia, Kentucky, and Texas. You guys got to get busy. Got to find out who your candidates are. And vote pro-gun if you're a pro-gun candidate. Even if, my thing is this, even if somehow you listen to this entire show and you're anti-gun, one, something's wrong with you. Two, I don't care who you vote for, but as an American, you have to actually exercise your civil rights. A lot of people died for you to have it. Why are you sitting on your butt? All right, guys. Thanks a lot again for me getting on my soapbox. Really appreciate you and the network allowing me to do this every week. Thank you very much.
Yep. So send questions, comments, feedback to gungearreview@gmail.com. Remember to subscribe and leave us an iTunes review. Check out all the other shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv. Be sure to visit the Firearms Insider for reviews and industry coverage. Check us out on Facebook at Firearms Insider and follow us at Firearms Insider on Instagram. And thank you for listening to the largest pound for pound podcast on the network. And we are out.
Bye, Felicia.